And we're live. Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. Welcome to a new panel hosted by the Blockchain Game Alliance. Today, we are going to continue on our series around DeFi and gaming. The second part, we are going to discover some very exciting games that are working in this particular category, learn about how they are played, what you can do with them, and what makes them so specific. Before that, I'd like to give you a brief introduction of the Blockchain Game Alliance for those of you who are not yet familiar. We're a nonprofit organization which is committed to promoting the adoption of blockchain technology within the game industry by showcasing the potential use of non-fungible tokens, decentralized gaming, DAOs, and today DeFi gaming, and how they can foster new ways to create, publish, play, build communities, engage with communities and players and creators around video games. We also strong advocate for diversity and more inclusivity of women in the industry, and we provide an open forum for individuals and companies to share knowledge, to collaborate, to network, to work on common standards, to establish best practices, and find players and partners. So those are the core activities: networking, research and reporting, representing blockchain game companies, and advocating for blockchain in the game industry. Before that, I'd like to give a big thanks to our sponsors. There's new sponsors coming in every month. The Coin Tribune, Ubisoft, the Boson Protocol, Algorand, Animoca Brands, Arc.io, Galaxy Interactive, Antler Interactive, MakerDAO, AMD, Chromia, Matic, which is now Polygonal, One Weblog, and Mobox. Big thanks for them for their extra support to the Blockchain Game Alliance and their activities. And just a quick showcase of all the members. We are now more than 170 members at the BGA between blockchain games, chain and protocols, press and media, all investors, developer solution, esports, games, and more. So it's really exciting to see it growing. And you'll see at the new member presentation event next week how we keep growing even further. I think we have something more than 10 new members that came this month that will be presenting. So we run all sorts of activities, including interviews with industry executive, workshop on thematics, many panels, the new member presentation. The demo days are now on a monthly basis as well. You never bored with what we are doing at the BG. And today, without any further ado, we are going to jump into the topic of the day, which is DeFi and gaming, welcoming by Christian Anschel from TradeStar. We also have Gigi from ANR Key, Jérôme de Tichet from Comet, and Gabby Dyson from Yield Guild Gaming. Welcome you all.
Hey,
thank you
for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Great to be here.
And Serena will be our host for driving the conversation.
Thank you, Sebastian, for the introduction to the Blockchain Game Alliance, all the activities and projects we've been carrying out. We welcome today's speakers, and today we'll be talking about DeFi in gaming, specifically in blockchain games. So as we welcome our speakers, we also give them the opportunity to briefly introduce themselves and their game or project. So I'm going to start with Gabby, which is right above me. Hey, Gabby, nice to see you.
Hey, Serena, thank you. So I'll give some brief introduction. So I do come from the game industry. So 18 years now in the game dev space. And we did start with mobile games in 2017, started playing around with smart contracts in Ethereum, which led us to develop blockchain games like Battle Racers in Decentraland. But since I would say since last year, we have been very deeply exploring the intersection of NFTs and gaming and DeFi. And this has led me to found what is now Yield Guild, which is basically a play-to-earn guild of a community of gamers that is gathered from around the world to play different blockchain games and earn money from them. So Yield Guild is unique in that it doesn't have a game itself. It gathers people to play different blockchain games where we can use NFTs to earn resources, be they tokenized resources, ERC20 tokens, or NFT resources in the game that we can sell. So we do this so that players basically have jobs inside the guild that they can use to earn money. So think of us as the settlers of the new digital nation in the metaverse. So if you think of the metaverse as different interconnected games that are bound together by the economics and scarcity of blockchain, we've invested in Axie Infinity, for example, in the sandbox. We actually are playing around with Comet right now, and different games. And what we're doing is that we're introducing the concept of play to earn to gamers around the world, and showing them that they can actually earn money from their hobby, which is playing games.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for this, and we'll learn more throughout the conversation. I will move forward to Christian. Hello.
Sure.
How are you?
Hello, Serena. Very good, thank you. Well, I'm Chris. I'm founder of TradeStars. TradeStars is a fantasy stocks platform built on a blockchain and based on the economic incentives of DeFi and NFTs also. I started with fantasy sports way before getting into the blockchain space in 2015. And then I contributed to some of the projects, like Decentralized, for example. I was one of the members of the initial team there, and I also worked for casinos in 2017. And so while I was in the in the blockchain space, I started thinking about building a fantasy sports, not just using the blockchain or crypto coins for payments, but for building a game which it's very deeply connected into the what blockchains provides us. That's, for example, transparency, liquidity. So we started with the idea of the fantasy stock platform. That's basically a decentralized exchange for those stocks, and those stocks are represented through fractional NFTs markets. I'll show later the if I have the opportunity the game how it works. And basically, users have the incentive to buy early stocks because it follows a curve with the income. With the increasing supply, the price goes up, and the opposite goes if the supplies go down of the stocks. And the NFT represents the real life performance of the athletes. So basically, the users take their money into their player pools, and the dividends they get is paid by the company's token, which is our company's token, the governance token. And so we are connecting the economic incentives into the fantasy sports industry.
Great, thank you so much. We also have JD from Anarchy X. Am I saying that right?
Not bad. Anarchy X.
Anarchy X, yes, wonderful to have you. Can you tell us a bit about yourself and your project? And I love your background. I cannot not say that. You know, it's too great.
Thank you. That's actually one of our animations from our game, a still version of it. Yeah, I born and raised LA, was a artist, urban artist, still have a mural up, got into the music business, entertainment business, had a record label, Warner Music Group, was working with just entertainment and music celebrities as a music producer, like Usher, Snoop Dogg, you name it, Britney Spears. Moved into more tech entertainment than crypto, and been in crypto for about 5 years, and just doing a lot of running a lot of more Asian countries, growth, launching ICOs and all that stuff. Became a public speaker just by organically, and always loved art and music and entertainment, and teamed up with a bunch of great other people in the DeFi and crypto industry, and a bunch of gamers, traditional gamers, our devs, and some of our chief gamers are from work with Pokemon, Final Fantasy, Sega, and then some of our CTOs have backgrounds like with Mercedes and Goldman Sachs and stuff. And was just dying to get back into the creative world that I left basically 6 years ago. And I've loved NFTs forever, and DeFi was really interesting. I was actually running an exchange out of Singapore while I saw this happening, doing the centralized, exchanges while I saw this happening, and literally resigned to launch this company because and basically, finding the more of a use case within liquidity mining, specifically on that DeFi system, and then giving NFTs more of a foundation with a base model, which I felt was lacking unless you attach them to an established brand, like I'm sure TradeStars, right? As we see with Flow, with NBA stars. So what we have done is gamified liquidity mining, where users could play against teams. We've incorporated esports directly into your dashboard with a custom Discord panel. And GameStop is actually a pure use case for what our game is, subreddit channels, strategy. And we have gamified liquidity mining by putting users together on teams to purchase, play, and stake NFTs and utilize them to boost APY rewards through series of in-game item stores, boosting weapons, NFTs, prize NFTs, etc., in the aftermarket. So it's an exciting time to do this, to be on the cusp of this innovation with all of you and really grow this industry. Like our communities, we share a lot. Like we work with everyone in this community because I think we should, because literally we're creating it from scratch, all of us, right? So, I'm excited to be here and be just continually doing this every day. This is my Friday night. It's 10:30 where I'm at right now in Asia. So that's why I'm a little jacked up and this is my party.
So that's a great way of spending your Friday night then.
Hey, I love the work. I love just working. So I'm happy doing this. Yeah. Thanks for having me.
We're among friends, so that sounds good. So Jerome, how are you? So Jerome from Comet, nice to have you here.
Well, thanks a lot for having me. I'm super pumped up to be there. It's not Friday night yet, but it's my birthday today, so I'm very happy to spend this
day. Yeah, I feel like we should all sing.
Happy birthday.
Gabby, you should pass your glass of wine to Jerome then to celebrate.
Yeah, a few glasses of champagne and wine yesterday already, so I'm a little bit dizzy still. Super happy to be here. I currently work at Ledger as their global head of client success, both in B2B and B2C. I've been in this space for quite some time now. Prior to that, I worked at Ernst & Young and at Consensus as well. So I had the pleasure of seeing the inception of the Blockchain Game Alliance back by days at Consensus. So it's really good to see the initiative that's continuing and progressing and succeeding. I recently contributed to a game called Comet, which we can say is a DeFi NFT-based video game that leverage also Ethereum scalability solutions. So it's a game where you can purchase an NFT, play around with your NFT. The NFT is actually a spaceship. And if you get good in the game, like if you position yourself or you interact with other players correctly, you can win token because you'll be close to asteroids in this game. Those asteroids have tokens that have value, and you can dig them up. We launched on the 15th of January the sales of the NFTs and some of the things, and we launched the game itself the 8th of February. And since then, we've distributed about $20,000 worth of Matic token on the game. We are in the balancing phase. We have something around 1,000 players trying out the game, battle testing the Matic network also, and having tons of fun trying to play this game. So very happy to tell you more. I'm really excited about this whole space. Back when we saw the first NFTs, I was like, wow, this is the first level where games can go, like tokenizing the asset. The second level will be like starting to base mechanics out of the blockchain. And the last level will be, of course, to have the sustainability of the economics of the game being based out of decentralized finance or blockchain interactions. That's what we've tried to do with Comet. I don't know if we've succeeded yet, and I'm super excited to see other people trying to do the same and achieve a new format of game.
Sounds great. Well, thank you all for being here. So to kick off this conversation today, we are going to be talking about DeFi features within your game or project. So I'll be interested to hear more, and we can dive a bit more into everyone's project or game, how you've been integrating DeFi features or elements, and in what does your project or game specialize in relation to DeFi. So we can start with Gabby again.
Sure. So at Yield Guild, we only invest in play games that have some sort of yield element, which means that we invest in NFTs that we can lend out to our guild members where they can basically earn some sort of yield. So this started with playing Axie Infinity. Last year, Axie Infinity introduced the SLP token as a utility token that you win in game when you battle in the arena. And its utility is you have to burn it when you have to breed new axes. So what this created was that it made a spot price for breeding new axes, and because it was an ERC20 token, you can basically change it back to ETH in Uniswap, and then eventually change it back to your fiat currency. So this was a very interesting element because as an in-game inflationary tokenized currency, it broke a lot of rules of what people thought cryptocurrency should be. But it was basically a tokenized in-game currency, and that really set the stage for play to earn. A lot of the play to earn elements as we know it today. So going back to my country here in the Philippines, when we were in lockdown early last year, a lot of people didn't have jobs, and they basically, they were either laid off, unemployed, couldn't find any opportunity, basically going hungry. And a lot of people here in the country discovered that you can basically make more than the minimum wage salary by playing Axie Infinity and earning SLP tokens. So as a background, the minimum wage salary here is around $250 a month, which is probably not a lot if you're coming from Europe or the US. But earning more than that is significant for a lot of people here in my country. And they realized that by playing Axie Infinity, winning games efficiently and earning SLP, you could earn maybe somewhere 2 to 5 times minimum wage. And for those people that were stuck in lockdown, basically who were very desperate for money, it was a godsend. It was a means to survive. People started posting about it, and it quickly caught on that you could actually make money playing a game. And this was such a mind blowing concept that people didn't think it was possible. Is it too good to be true? So these people who were very good gamers but didn't have any kind of blockchain or crypto experience, they learned how to download, MetaMask, Trust Wallet, download a game, play the game, win tokens, sync those tokens to MetaMask, use Uniswap, and then change the Uniswap to ETH, and then change the ETH back to pesos, all without being really techies, or early adopters in cryptocurrency. And what's more than that, apart from earning SLP, because of this, because you had to change these tokens in Uniswap, a lot of the players in our country actually benefited from the Uni airdrop, which was amazing. It was 400 Uni, which was something like over $2,000, which was basically 6 months to a year's worth of salary. So it was really amazing and mind blowing. And this experience told me that this is something that we want to scale and turn into an organization that can benefit not just the Philippines, but the rest of the world can benefit from play to earn. So apart from Axie now, so we actually announced today that we bought $100,000 worth of digital land. So 88 plots of land in Axie Infinity worth $76,000, and another 30 plus $1,000 for our second land estate in Sandbox. So we are really leaning hard on play to earn, investing in games that have a play to earn concept that we can, with NFTs that we can lend out to our guild members and basically teach the rest of the world about play to earn.
That's very interesting. Thank you for sharing a lot of background story. Sorry, Seb, go on.
It's really interesting as well because it really touched directly to our earth and the fact that it affects everybody's life. Like DeFi gaming is not just financial play. It's actually something that changed the life of people around the world and transforms the habits of what we think about casual gaming is just maybe a hobby. No, it can be more.
It's financial inclusion. Yes, definitely.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But do you think it's interesting to have elements such as DeFi included, and the fact that there was a need? That's what made, for example, games such as Axie Infinity sort of boom in your country.
Yeah. So the combination for me of NFT and DeFi is not only very interesting. I think it's the most important combination of concepts in this space. So a lot of blockchain and cryptocurrency are, dominated by finance people, traders, macro investors, all of that, which is worth a lot of money, but it doesn't really relate to the rest of the world. And when you talk about NFTs, you're talking about game items, you're talking about artwork, you're talking about avatars, you're talking about fashion. So these are things that actually the rest of the world really understands. So for me, the possibility space for NFTs is actually larger than the one of just pure trading options, crypto tokens. And when you combine these together, buying things that give you status, which is what NFTs do, which can yield you things of value, which is what DeFi does, the combination is really life changing.
Thank you. And Christian, moving on, how do you see the DeFi elements being integrated in your project, and what are the features that you'd like to share with us today?
Yeah.
And if you want to
Well,
share anything on screen as well.
Sure, I can share the
you're
screen. I
welcome.
can show how it's deeply integrated into that. As I mentioned before, we are using the. Are we showing the screen now? Yes. We are using the concept of the NFT to represent the athletes' performances. The thing that we are having a unique entity in the blockchain that tracks real performance of an athlete, real stats. And from that stats, users can buy and sell fantasy stocks. You'll see Trusters is very similar. What you see here is very similar to a liquidity pool you'll see on, I don't know, an exchange. But instead of buying or exchanging tokens, ERC20s, you are buying or selling stocks, fantasy stocks of that player. It works pretty similar. You basically, users deposit money on the platform and then uses that money to swap or buy or sell player athlete tokens, and then the users will start building their portfolio, and they will start receiving dividends in form of, they actually are liquidity mining our token. So we are incentivizing the community to participate, to stake their money into the platform, to use that money to buy athlete shares. That's similar to staking money into a liquidity pool in a decentralized exchange. And then because of that, they will start receiving liquidity mining our token. And that rate will be influenced by their deposits, and also will be dependent or influenced by the real athlete performance. So that's one of the main features where we introduce DeFi, the DeFi economy, let's say, into the game, because we are having two, let's say, economic incentives here. The users go to the market to buy stocks. If they go early and they are expecting their stocks will get more dividends, they will go early to the market. They will find a cheaper price, so they will be able to have an upside for selling those stocks later. And then we have the part where they will receive dividends for doing that, and the governance, the token will be used for governance or for changing features inside the game, and also to unlock new features that we are not seeing here, but we are implementing challenges between users, leaderboards, where the top performers of the week will have a multiplier of their earnings, for example, or you will start building some portfolios to compete against other players, much more similar to a fantasy sports game. But the very basic of this is the economic incentives of staking money and getting dividends. It's very DeFi gamifying here. Gamification, sorry.
Yes, yeah, that's very interesting as well. And what would you say the benefits are of, of course, the rewards can be seen as benefits, but what other benefits do you see in getting involved in trade stars or incentivizing community coming together?
Well, the users are the real owners of the game. We are rewarding the users. Not just you're not entering the game. It's a long term for us, and this is engaging. This is a part that engages the user. The way the token gets into our user base, they will be able to get a percentage of the platform transactions, for example. So they will own the platform. And I think this is game challenging because it's very different to what you can see on the fantasy sports platforms today, the centralized fantasy sports platform, right? Like DraftKings, for example, or Dream 11 in India. This is a game that will be owned by our community. And we are incentivizing them to own it, let's say. And so I believe that this is game changing for this industry.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much. I'd love to.
Do you have any? Just a quick question. Do you have any sort of metrics already on how many users?
Yeah.
Where are they? Are they based in India as well, or other part of the world?
Sure. Yeah. This was a crazy year because of the COVID, right? I mean, the sports got paused, so we've been like at 6 months or 7 months in with a low profile. We stepped back a little bit because of that. We launched last year in January. We registered about 30,000 users at that time. We were focused on cricket only in Indian market. We have seen 30,000 users, maybe 70% from India, and the rest segregated in in Singapore and in Nigeria also and other countries, but mainly India. And we are focused on cricket now, but we are working on adding more sports. As you see here, there's a soccer label, which is not enabled yet. This is a testnet product. We launched our version 2 2 months ago, actually, and since then we've seen like $60,000 in transactions. It's fake money, but we've seen a lot of transactions and new users, like 1,500 users in the platform since we launched the version 2. We are hoping that this year will be different with sports all the year, and so we are full speed ahead, working on our roadmap.
Great. Can't wait to see it go live then.
Thanks. Next month.
Yeah. We'll keep an eye on it. Well, thank you so much for sharing this, Christian. I'd love to move on to JD and also ask you, of course, about your project and how DeFi features are integrated, but also around the psychological engagement that you have with the audience. I'm also interested in how DeFi features, elements can get the audience really engaged.
That's I almost wish you wouldn't have said that, because I'm super nerdy when it comes to psychology, and I studied biological psychology actually when I was in high school, so I could get the hell out of high school early. I counted as double credits. So I built this game, this concept, really with a huge part of the psychological psychology of it. That's how I figured out through R&D about the esports stuff. You know what I mean? In the team, the competitiveness, the strategy, especially now with COVID, people just need to waste time. But I think, the rewards and the incentives, right? That's the easiest, to me, the easiest use case for liquidity mining in a lot of the DeFi products, you know what I mean? Because they're action-based, reward-based. And especially as you see within the games and communities with whether it's crypto products or financial products, as we saw with GameStop, there is we're by nature we're human beings, right? And by nature we're part of a herd. That's just how it is, the herd effect, right? So naturally we will gravitate towards achieving goals together, and that's one of the big things that we implement in our game. Is it's a team game. We have all the stats and everything. This is only the third time using this StreamYard. I've never shared before, so I'm a little nervous to share something and then it totally go wrong and ruin stuff. But you know what? Whatever. Let's give
it a go.
Yeah, I'm just gonna use. To be honest, I'm gonna use a. Let's see what this does. Application share. That's not giving it to me. Entire screen doesn't work, or Chrome tab. It only allows Chrome tab. Okay, which that's going to look pretty horrible on YouTube then, because again, I don't have the right computer. Let's just see. Otherwise, I'll shut it down. Do you guys see that?
Yes. Yeah, we can.
Yeah,
see
so we're going to watch on a little box. We're going to watch a tiny little box. It sucks because I prepared a whole video on the other screen that would have gave. But bottom line, what you're seeing right here is how you choose your pool army, right? And it shows we've gamified all the stats. I don't know what happens here. Do you guys actually see this bigger now?
Yeah, that looks perfect.
Wow, yeah. We're so advanced here, huh? I know how to make it bigger. God, I feel like we're crossing boundaries here. You're joining the game. Here we got all your normal stats. How much ANRX, which is our arcade coin, because it's how you utilize every game mechanic, purchasing things, and the rewards in our game. And you go over to your pool, you can choose your different teams right here, slide through them, shows how much TVL, total volume locked. Once you do that, you're going to, once you decide that, what we have done is gamified the top pools on Uniswap. We didn't want to start with our own pools because, as most of you guys probably know, new tokens are pretty dynamic, right? Fluctuation, and that's a major problem with swapping on like Uniswap and stuff, and that's where you have arbitrage problems. So we wanted to gamify this first, take the top pools where we have stability, and then once you start, you basically start the game by staking your LP token. After that, you'll only use our arcade coin. And we pretty much built out just like you would have in a traditional video game. These are web apps similar to Candy Crush, Farmville, and Mafia Wars. So it's clicking buttons, trading, explosions, and then this is actually an old version, the one I'm showing right now, because it was the quickest thing I could get. Where on the right side you'll have your team chat here. We've gamified all the stats. You have real time here, what everyone's playing, boosting weapons, purchasing NFTs. All our NFTs generate rewards. It works just like really cool arcade games. Very exciting stuff to generate your rewards. All team abilities. Let me show you. Here's the aftermarket of prize NFTs. You can boost them, utilize them even further. We like to call it margin flipping on the aftermarket. It's a flash sale aftermarket. Here's some of our big prize NFTs. We can upgrade them further, just like in a traditional video game. I like to call them my Gucci NFTs. I came from entertainment and music, so I'm big on hip hop. And that's some of the surprises we'll be bringing out pretty soon over the next month. The market will see with some really great, let's just say, relationships coming into the project. And I was trying to get to the team. Here we go. Here's one of them. Right here, you can see directly all your players in the team on your team, see exactly what they're doing. It's an older version. There's a lot more stats. We've completely gamified every single, quality and monetary value or in metric for decentralized finance, as well as a few more. You can see your team, who's doing the most stuff, who's slacking. You can go talk some ish if they're slacking. There's also where's the other one? Anyways, we'll get to that. I don't like streaming this thing that much. Let me see if I can get back to you guys. Did I stop screen? Beautiful. Sorry about that. That was probably really awkward. I couldn't see anyone's face except for the screen. So it's kind of a little uncomfortable. I'm like, I don't know if you guys are making fun of me or.
Well, it was super cool.
Yeah, very interesting.
Sorry, that was interesting. Thanks for that experience. But yeah, I mean, you didn't really see the full picture of it, but we have every single team gauge there. You can see in every single team they're ordering. You can see all the gauges of internally with each team member. We have leaderboards for this week, last week, a lot of really fun and exciting stuff. And we believe, and we've already seen within our community, the gamification on the DeFi financial products happening. We launched out of stealth mode in October, December, or after our TGE, we launched a gamified NFT staking little mini product. That's the beta version, and our users staked over $250,000 for achievement NFTs with utility and for rewards. We're a bit delayed on our game because what can you say? Building innovation takes a while. We just fully converted or integrated to a full L2, so that's a little bit of a delay right now. So we've been partners with Polygon now since we launched. We love them. Their devs work with our devs, and our community size has grown over 17,000, which we're grateful for across Discord, Telegram, and then we've launched a big public beta test for our users. We already have over 8,000 signups ready to play, and that's gonna be going for the next few weeks till the beta launch to a month. And we couldn't be more excited right now. It's just hence why I'm working at 10 o'clock on Friday night. And this community is just awesome. Everyone we work with here and in our community, everyone's collaborating, man. We have a bunch of NFT drops coming out before the game with other partners and projects, and it's just really an exciting time right now. Seriously.
Yeah, absolutely. I second that. It's very exciting to be in this space right now. So thank you for sharing your screen and telling us a bit more about those elements that keep the audience engaged and how you're developing features within the game. As we move on, I also want to tell everyone watching that if you do have any questions, feel free to send them through the chat, and we'll ask them our speakers during this live conversation. So I would love now to get Jerome on screen and tell us a bit more about your project and what you've been working on. And what I'd love for you also to discuss is the elements around the governance and how this has been playing a role in the project.
Sure. So I can maybe share my screen as well. Do you see? Let me know if you can see.
Yeah.
So in order to play Comet, you need to get a spaceship. And this is the main asset of the game. We are moving towards a model where you can actually lend your spaceship, like the same way you do a taxi license, and you want to lend your spaceship to other people, and we'll be collaborating with YGG on that. So you can buy a spaceship on the primary market or on the secondary market, or you can even farm your spaceship, like in the same way you do it with Meme and Pineapple. You just lock some Must token, which is the internal token of the game, and you get some dust. And with the dust, you can unlock new spaceships, like this Pathfinder, for example, or even this Mythic Titan is available for minting. But what you do with the spaceship, you play the game. And the interesting part in the DeFi approach that we have with Comet is to make Comet a gateway towards DeFi on layer 2. Whether you are on layer 1 and you want to interact with layer 2, or on the layer 2 and you want to interact with the layer 1. And we try to bridge those so that it brings prizes inside the game. So right now, 100% of the NFT sales goes back to the game. Like we give you a cashback on the price of the spaceship, so you can have a Must to play in game, and we also use the rest of the money to just generate assets, generate asteroids in the game. And the first DeFi primitive that we have in the game is a decentralized exchange on layer 2. And this decentralized exchange on layer 2 has liquidity pool token in every pair that we list. And those liquidity pool token, we will put them on the asteroids so that the players become the liquidity providers of the decentralized exchange that we have on layer 2. So here's the landing of Comet. You have a panel with your fleet here. Here's my favorite spaceship. We give the spaceship away to the biggest liquidity providers in our Uniswap pool. And here you will soon see a DeFi panel. Like I want to deposit on Aave. I want to interact with a Pickle Finance. I want to do that from L2 to L1, because if you want to swap 100 DAI on layer 1 right now, you're going to pay maybe $20 out of gas fees. So that's not feasible. With Comet, we want to let people aggregate their interactions, mutualize their interaction on layer 2 to layer 1, and then slowly transition to giving away layer 1 to layer 2 options as well. And when it comes to the game, this is the players right now. If you zoom out, you see Comets that are approaching. You get this one that's going to be there in roughly, let's say, 90 minutes. You get others that you can click on, and you get the content of those Comets, of course. So what the game is basically is try to position yourself inside the game. And everything is completely blockchain-based in the sense that what you see here, I zoomed in too fast. Here we go. Whoa. What you see here, all those dots.
Big galaxy.
All those dots are actually players, and every tick, every new blocks, every new second in the game make them move. And you can pull yourself towards those guys. You can just I want to change my position in the game because I know a juicy comet is coming by, and I want to be close to it. So as I said, when the game went live on the 8th of February, and from now on we are in a balancing mode, like checking the different. Here we go. I just jumped. Checking the balance of the game, seeing which spaceships are overpowered, which is the best, the most difficult orbits for a comet. What is the hardest and what is the easiest, and see how we can balance the game. And then when we switch to integrating DeFi primitives, it will funnel the game economy because you will get access to fees out of those DeFi primitives that get funneled to the game. So as time goes, we hope that the players will enjoy playing the game, enjoy using cheap DeFi stuff from layer 2. And also the DeFi primitives that we've integrated, those are cross collaborations, right? We're doing something with Avegochi next week. We will do other things with other projects that we will announce as time go. That's a way to cross-pollinate and to grow the audience. And when it comes to governance itself, the MUX token is supposed to be a governance token also. So right now we are just doing the first pass on balancing the game, on seeing how it can be better for everyone, and then all the parameters are going to be left out to the players. So Comet Swap, the DEX that we will have on layer 2, you will be able to say like, hey, let's up the fees of the exchange because we want more comets. Oh, let's get the fees of the exchange down because we want to have more trades. Like, it's up to the MUX holders to decide how it's supposed to be done, what we use for the fees that we collect and so on. And also, how should we prioritize integrating new DeFi stuff? How should we do a bounty-based integration of the DeFi stuff? All of this, we want to leave it to the token holders, and we distribute the token to people that play. So hopefully, it's a positive feedback loop that will be triggered.
Thank you. That's sorry.
Can you share with us some metrics since you launched on February 8th? You said so very recently.
Yes, absolutely. So we have about 600 Ether of NFT sold. So that's going to be a first liquidity for some pools in the DEX. We have right now about 2,000 spaceships that have been minted, purchased, farmed, and so on. We have 1,000 that have migrated and are playing right now. It's about a little bit less than 1,000 players because some people have multiple spaceships. You see my screen, I get 7 of them.
I want 5.
Yeah. and we love to collaborate. We love to partner with other projects. We try to build a metaverse in this. And as time goes, we want to give better experience about how you see your NFT, how you do things from L1 to L2, and so on. Right now, what's really cool with the NFTs is just it's mind blowing for the crypto retail. Like, we like our NFT, we like to process something inside the metaverse, the blockchainverse. But pretty soon, I think it's going to be a gateway for the real retail to get in and to start enjoying the things. So the fact that we are all building on layer 2 is great because we're going to have a much better time onboarding new people to that. And next week, new collections of spaceships. It was a pretty adversarial time to go live with the gas fees going from 20 gigaway on the day we published to 400 gigaway. So we took some time to polish the edges and optimize some of the contracts before we resume selling NFTs. But that's super exciting, and also I'm really impressed with what Anarchy X did, and to see the YGG team and also some all the trading application coming in. Super cool.
I think the traditional financial industry and the banks are laughing at us right now with our whole ETs, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like, yeah, buddies. Yeah, with your quick payments, we don't need. Yeah.
Well, I mean, they will be damned. Like in 5 years from now, when they will want to have the best players from Fortnite to migrate their cranky bank mobile app. Well, the NFT space will be there, and the blockchain space will be there for them.
Interesting. Well, there's a question we have from the audience. It's quite a general question we keep having during this panel conversation, but what about Matic? Is it the future? Any other solutions to look out for regarding solving fees and speed for gaming? So what are your thoughts on this?
I can take that. Amazing. Matic has been there for last two years, and I think the guys are doing it right. There are layer 2 solutions, but I believe that the guys are doing great. It's a great team with good responses, and it's a very good project. So for me, we decided to use Matic like a year and 4 months ago, something like that. And so far it was great. I think it's layer 2 would solve all the scalability issues that now Ethereum has and will have. And so, for example, in our case, we are using Ethereum for the deposits, which is one transaction where users swap their tokens from layer 1 to layer 2, and then all the games happens on layer 2. And then if they want to withdraw, they can do so by off-ramps solutions directly from Matic, or connecting their wallet into layer 1 again. I think that's the solution we found. Also, because times in Ethereum for a transaction in a game like ours takes about 20 seconds, and we needed almost a real-time game, and now with Matic we have like 2 seconds transaction. So for us was great.
What's everyone else thinking?
One thing I think that's common to all the games here is like DeFi games are games that heavily rely on transaction on chain for the as a player need to perform the action and advance to the next thing. So that's why, particularly with DeFi gaming, layer 2 solution and Matic are essential, right?
Yeah. Can I add one thing? There are 2 things that we solved with Matic. One is we lowered the transaction times for 20 seconds to 2 seconds almost in average. And the second thing is we lowered the transaction fees. So now we can relay the user transactions. And for the users that join TradeStars, it's transparent because they don't need to have the Matic token and to have a wallet to buy the Matic token to pay for the gas fees. We do that for them. And so it's a win-win situation in all the ways that you want to look at. We solve 2 things which are very special pain point for users, a barrier to use blockchain games. So I think it was perfect decision for us.
Yeah, it literally killed our game. Literally dead in the water. Our game on ETH, like right now, like. Nothing. Every revenue stream gone. Shut down. So now
to add to the question on Matic, it's definitely great to see those layer 2 solutions going more mature. Being the future, I hope it will be the future. But there are many challenges that still need to be solved. Like Comet has been tried out on many different layers. We really like the Off-Chain Labs Arbitrum approach of optimistic rollups because it lets you get in and get out of the bridge with a sense of trustlessness and some sense of ease. I like the fact that Matic is right now looking at, being now Polygon, is looking at having more layer 2 integrations, more approach to layer 2. And that's really exciting because at the core, the contributors of Comet are bridge builders. We like to interconnect things and to use the layer 1s as a settlement layer and not a transactional layer. But we are still very early. We are happy building on Matic and happy trying it out. But there are some hiccups. Like the infrastructure needs to be hardened. The RPC endpoints for your wallets needs to be better. We still need some primitives. Like I know OpenSea is testing out on the Matic testnet, but it's not there yet, and it will be great to have it. Like we are early in this space, and hopefully we will all come together with having super great services all over. But still, it's a journey. We are not there yet, and from now it's doing the trick. Like, you can enjoy mini games and play around with those mini games without having to pay super heavy gas fees. But when you want to get in back to the layer 1, you have to handle the bridge, and the bridges are still in their infancy, but maturing pretty fast. So let's cross fingers that we all mature super fast here.
So can we say that you say we are early in the space, but it feels like crypto is still young in general. So there's already the 2nd generation of games that are DeFi games, and you are the true pioneers in that particular category. That's what I feel personally. So yeah.
And we are I think like we say in French, essuyer les plâtres. Like we face many difficulties. We realize that some things are sometimes badly plugged together. Some things are too securely plugged together, and some key elements are still missing. But what's great behind that in this pioneering mode is that the players that are trying it out are giving amazing feedbacks. Like you see them with the sense of ownership that gives you the NFT. You want to build a guild. You want to build a team of players. You want to play around. You want to show the status that you have with your NFTs. And you are also humble at what the people are doing. Like, hey, this is a blockchain engine based game. So you have to accept that it's not going to be a triple A game like. Well, Cypherpunk was a weird game to start with, but yeah, well, still building, and it's great also to see things like Blockchain Game Alliance gathering the attention of the legacy game studio. Can we call them that? The legacy game studio that are now experimenting with blockchain and looking at this with their professional eyes and will bring more professionalism to the space as well.
Yeah. So as we're coming to a conclusion around this deep dive into DeFi and games part 2, I would love to share a question that Sebastian has been suggesting, which is on why we should be designing DeFi games from scratch versus why cannot we use more traditional games and adding DeFi features, elements onto the games that everyone knows. So if you'd like to share some flush out some ideas around this topic would be great. So Gabby, I'll come back to you.
Okay, so
sorry.
Yeah, so I talk with a lot of game companies, like a lot of traditional ones, game studios, even gaming VCs, and there is a lot of, I guess, there's a lot of hesitation, I guess, integrating crypto concepts within traditional games. I think when it comes to more traditional game publishers and developers, they would want to use NFTs in a way that doesn't really affect the gameplay that much. So think of it where they would probably want to start with skins. Skins in games is something that is fairly known in games now, and I think this is where a lot of the traditional games want to start. Integrating DeFi elements in games is truly a revolutionary step, and it's something that I would say it won't be kind of immediate to have the traditional game industry accept this. So, for example, what Comet is doing, integrating L2 elements, DeFi elements into games. This is very like groundbreaking, revolutionary stuff, and probably outside of Eve Online, there are really very few games that try to understand and get what we are trying to do. But I think we're gonna get there, and especially in the next few years, you're gonna see the kind of graphics fidelity in the gameplay between traditional blockchain games that are very strong in economic elements and the traditional games that are very strong in maybe graphic and narrative elements start to merge. And maybe when maybe 5, 6, 7, 10 years from now, blockchain games will just be games that have economic elements, and these will truly merge over time.
Thank you. That's a great vision, Gabby. What does everyone else think about traditional games and building games from scratch with DeFi?
I'd like to touch on that. Just one pain point which happened before DeFi with crypto, right? I mean, DeFi's been around obviously with DAO forever, right? But let's just call it a new phase. But like, there's going to be a lot of friction, especially with non-financial companies around the regulation around it, right? So these are all major public companies with public shareholders wrapped in corporate legal stuff. I mean, they won't even touch DeFi. That's unregulated right now still, right? And all the uncertainty that came with crypto initially, so I think there's always going to be that friction there from the traditional side. But we do see big studios that have already started with blockchain, maybe not the DeFi, right, which is the financial services. And I agree with Gabby that the easiest thing for them to swallow is NFT skins. You know what I mean? It's something very simple. There's no regulation around it. There's no one losing money, smart contracts breaking, and millions of dollars being hacked or whatever. It's an easy kind of integration. But like I think like with Tesla, right? Like you can't wipe out a whole infrastructure of the oil, right? The fossil fuels, right? In cars, it's going to be a long overhaul. Just like what I've always thought with blockchain for the years that I've been in it, you can't expect banks everyone to wipe out their whole infrastructure, right, and recreate systems based on blockchain. So there's always going to be right now a hurdle, you know what I mean, of doing that. I think because switching to blockchain is a big deal from traditional. Everything else, you know, everything changes, obviously, right? So
interesting. Chris and Jerome, traditional games or building a new game?
Well, I agree with the guys. I see from the fantasy sports industry, maybe it's very hard to do once you have users and you have your business going on. It's very different what we are doing. If we compare, we need to build it from the ground up, I believe. At least as what I thought when I started this. I came from the industry with a standard fantasy sport platform, and it's different thing. I mean, we need to build this infrastructure from the ground up and start it from zero, actually. So I agree with the guys. It will take a long time for them to move. I think this is the future, and this will empower users to own the platform and to participate on the governance and all the benefits that the blockchain has. But it will take a lot of time for them to switch it like that. And maybe they will start with some easiest things like NFTs, for example, like skins or in-game items or things before building all this infrastructure for their economics, let's say, I think.
Mm-hmm. And
well, I hope for building new games, of course. As I said in the beginning, level 1, just NFT your assets. Your assets become NFT. Level 2, game mechanics on the blockchain. And level 3, sustainable economy with decentralized finance. I mean, I hope we'll get a whole new type of game with this. Blockchain as the engine. Use blockchain for RNG, for fair and transparent RNG. Use blockchain mechanics to show transparency behind your mechanics. One thing we're going to explore is doing procedurally generated races. Like you race a spaceship against someone else, and the asteroid field that you have to race in will be procedurally generated with RNG extracted from a block. Like those kind of fun stuff. Like let people feel how the blockchain and the blockchain network and the blockchain ledger is a universe that you can live in and you can own assets in.
Wonderful. Well, this has been a fantastic conversation, and thank you for wrapping such an interesting panel with your thoughts. So, Seb, if we can go back to the slides, I just want to share a great news we have. So next week, we are going to have a BGA demo day, which has been so successful over the past edition. So feel free to join us. There's going to be over 10 companies presenting that game, and there's lots of prizes and rewards to be won. So we hope to see you there. And also, these are channels, so you can follow us on Twitter. We publish Medium articles every week. We have a website where you can find all about joining us as a member and all the benefits of the memberships, Telegram and Discord. And Seb, I leave the last word to you.
Thanks everyone. Thanks Gabby, thanks Christian, JD, and Jerome for giving us a first taste of DeFi and gaming. I'd like to invite you to keep following us on the different channels. And I really like Jerome. Like, we're now at level 2 of gaming, and let's see how we can get to level 3 and beyond.
Level up.
That's it. Yes, level up, everyone.
Thank you very much, guys.
Great Friday. Enjoy.
Thanks
for having me.
Thank you, everyone. See you next time.